And whoa, man. So we have a 66. Hey everybody, how's it going? Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we have a PCGS unboxing. Hopefully to remember, there's lots of early 1900s gold and silver tokens. So some of these include Alaska Gold, Louisiana Purchase Gold, Lewis and Clark Exposition Gold, which is out in Oregon, I believe, as well as some Henrik Hudson and Robert Fulton gold dollars and silver dollars. So we'll see what they are. They're super rare, so it's a possibility that we get some coins that are the best graded by PCGS ever, which would be really neat. A lot of value, I believe. And after we do the actual unboxing, I'll show you a little bit of a presentation where it's more on the historical side about what these coins were made to commemorate and that sort of thing. Let's get into first the unboxing of the actual coins. And I just took up in the box, and unfortunately, the very first coin is a genuine, not gradable. This one is, I'll zoom in on it and show you how it looks. It's a New York to Albany one trip coin, and I believe it's a gold dollar of sorts, but yeah, it's a Robert Fulton 1809 to 1909 dollar. And the interesting thing is there's only like 4 of these certified by PCGS, and as such, I don't know the values. There's no price history, so it's often going to be challenging for me to tell just exactly how much, so my values will be estimates. But let's see what the problem is. I don't really know, what is going on. It says filed rims, unk details. Okay, so it's, Fulton dollar. I wonder, I can't really see where the rims have been filed, but maybe it's up there in the top. Either way, unfortunate that that's our first, but I guess we can move on to our next one, which is similar. Yeah, this is $1, and it's not exactly the same, but it's the, I don't even know what that back lettering says. This one's a pretty coin, and there is, let me just check the pop report. So there's a 67, went for $960 a few years ago. And there's 3 of those in existence. I don't think that this is a 67, but I could be wrong. I would grade this at a 66, but again, I've never even really thought about grading these types of coinage. And yeah, we got a 66. So I guess actually in 2018, one that was in a 64 sold for $1,500. So you really never know, but this could be pretty valuable because there's not very many out there, and this is a gorgeous coin for sure. I think I'm going to zoom out just a little bit in terms of getting that view. Next up, we've got 2. I don't know if they're silver or aluminum. I think that they're silver, but they're kind of the silver counterparts to the coins that we just took a look at. And this one, on the pop report, there's only 1 of them in a 64, so I guess that this will probably have that grade, but I feel like this looks even nicer, so maybe they haven't updated the pop report. This is just a gorgeous coin, especially with how the back of the coin looks. It's got a really nice bluish toning, and just so detailed. We'll see what this grade is. I would say that this is also a 66, but maybe it'll just be a 64. Yep, so it's probably actually the only coin that they've got on record, and we'll see what it sells for, but it's definitely, I think it's good to have something like this in a holder because people who are doing registries can collect it. People can just really know what they're purchasing, and having that authentication is pretty important for a high-end kind of specialty coin like the one in front of us. After that, we have this one, which is $1, except also, I believe, in silver. And this one is, there's 2 of these certified by PCGS. One is a 63, one is a 64. And I'll just turn it around. We'll see. I mean, I don't think that there's too much wrong. It just doesn't kind of pop. I would guess that this is the 63. I can't tell if that's a little scratch in his head, but also the Henrik Hudson silver counterpart. And it's a 64. Wow, nice. So I didn't really realize that. This is also then a top pop 1 of 1. So very interesting coin. And, I'm curious to see how these will be selling on, I think we'll probably put them on eBay unless somebody that's a dealer that we know offers on all of them or something. I believe that this next one is an Alaskan Gold coin. So the top pop for this is in 64. We'll see how they grade this one. It's pretty, I don't know if it's quite the 64 level because there's a fair amount of not brushing, but something. Maybe that's just kind of the polishing. It's got to be polishing lines if they didn't not gradable genuine it, something like that. I'm gonna guess that this is a 63, but it's 1 pennyweight. That's what DWT stands for, of Alaskan Gold, and it's a mint state 62. Yep, that seems pretty fair. Looking at some past results, this probably sells for like $250, somewhere in that range. And yeah, I think that that's a pretty fair grade. This definitely doesn't have crazy eye appeal or anything like that, but it is still a pretty cool rare gold. We also have the half and quarter pennyweights from Alaska, and those are going to be our next coins that we take a look at. Here's the half pennyweight. I can't tell. I feel like this one might be slightly nicer from the back. We'll see what the front looks like. And the front looks kind of similar. I don't think that this is going to be anything super drastic either, though here it's saying that the top pop is a 63. And I'm going to check if there's any proof-like ones. Nope, all of them are mint state. I think that this one's still going to be a 62, though, but we'll see. And it's also a 62, so there's 4 of those. Also seems to be trading, even though it's half the size, for around that $200, $250, $300 mark. So, again, good to have it in the holder because it would be tougher to sell it without. I just think that, that's kind of how these types of things work. I don't know if this one's rare. It's a quarter pennyweight, so really getting kind of down low in terms of how much gold is in these coins. There's ones in mint state 62 and mint state 64. Again, I'm going to say mint state 62 because it doesn't, but I mean, from that angle, it does look pretty nice. So I'm still going to go with 62, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was a little bit higher in terms of its grade. And yep, it's mint state 64, so I was a little bit off, but that is a good looking coin, and there's no price history on this one. So my guess is it might be a $300, $350 coin, somewhere in that range, just because there's only 2 of these kind of in that condition. And it doesn't seem like the weight, when there's a massive gold difference where there's a lot of gold value, like with a half eagle and an eagle or an eagle and a double eagle, then you're going to see a lot of value being determined on the actual gold content. I think that that's a little bit less of the case in this instance. After this, I really think that these coins were super pretty. We have an Oregon Gold. This is a $50, I believe, and I'll just show you the front of it. It almost looks, proofy. It is really pretty. Let me see. So it looks like the top pop here is 64, but this looks almost prettier than a 64. I don't know. There's 7 certified in 64. One sold for actually a 63 sold for $600 in 2018. So I think that this one is going to be a pretty valuable coin just because it really, it looks nice. And I guess the only thing is maybe the weak strike could be holding it back on the reverse of the coin. But I'm going to say that this is a 64 because I don't see how this isn't gorgeous. And yeah, they agree. It is a 64. Lewis and Clark Expo Oregon Gold. Mount Hood on the front there. I don't actually know too much about Mount Hood. But yep, and you can see L&C Expo 1905. But glad to get another top pop. That's definitely been something that's been a theme for today's finds. Then this one, let's see. There's one in 66 in NGC. There's 2 in 65. So I'm going to guess that this one is going to be a 65. Also kind of has that proofy look. This one actually looks a little crisper than the, than its larger counterpart, the 50 cent. This one's a 25 cent one. It just looks gorgeous. So I'm definitely going to go with the 65 that they've got listed on their site. Just so pretty, but so small as well. And whoa, man. So we have a 66 proof like. I'm going to go check out PCGS because it does look like there is a proof like designation. And whoa. Okay, so this is the only proof like coin that they've certified and the only 66 that they've certified. So this is a really special coin. I have no idea what the values are going to look like on this, but I think that they're going to be pretty high because this very well might be the nicest 1905 token, 25 cent token from this expo in existence. And if I look at the price history, the 66 from NGC sold for $840. So, I could see with the proof like this being 1,000 plus, somewhere in that range. If all you need for a coin like this is two people who really want to have a good set of the Lewis and Clark exposition coins. Whoever wants the best one out there is going to have to probably pay up, but hopefully there's more than one person who's interested in those coins. We're now going to finish out the unboxing with two Louisiana Gold ones. That one does not look quite as pretty, on first glance. This one is a 50-cent coin from the Louisiana Purchase Exposition. Let's check out the front. See if that looks kind of nice, but I think that this will be there's some I don't think it's a 58. I would guess that this one is a mint state 62. I think is where I'd place this, and that's what they've got it at. That's not a super valuable coin. Maybe $200 in that kind of range, but I think that it's still good to get it in the holder. Selling a coin like that raw is, I'm not going to call it a recipe for disaster, but I could see how there would not be nearly as much demand when it's not in that holder. Lastly, we've got this Louisiana 25-cent $quarter gold coin. This one actually looks quite nice, and I'm going to check that there's no proof-like designation, but there's some in 64 and 65. I'm going to just be optimistic and call this a 65 because I think it really looks crisp and pretty. And it is awesome. So that's really great. Top pop as well. There's only 3 of these in the 65. There's no price history on it. One sold in 64 for $420 last year. So I'm going to guess that this one is a pretty solidly valuable coin. And I thought that it looked, you can really see the difference in how these coins look with this one just looking really nice. So anyways, that does it for this hunt. I'm going to talk a little bit. I actually haven't researched it yet. So I'm going to just look into a little bit of history in terms of where these coins, the actual reasons that they were minted and that sort of thing, because there's a lot to uncover here. And we've got some of the nicest ones in existence. So why not, look into it and kind of understand what we have. And here's the quick need to know on what we just unboxed, especially with some focus on the so-called dollars. None of ours are really true so-called dollars, but they were coins that were made as commemoratives and exposition medals that were not government issued. They were privately minted, but they had to be struck in the USA, measured between 33 and 45 millimeters, so they were much larger than the average dollar that we were looking at, and then focus on celebrations or numismatic themes. So often there would be like the Alaska Yukon Pacific Exposition. This was a true so-called dollar. The 1, half, and quarter Pennyweight coins were a little bit different. Same thing over here. There was a true so-called dollar for the Louisiana Purchase, but we had the half and quarter dollars also kind of coming out as tokens from that event. And there's a reference book by Hibbler and Kappen, which refers to them by their HK numbers. And some of the tokens that we saw, like the Fulton and the Hudson celebration, those were cataloged in the HK book. But that kind of carved out an interesting niche for collectors, and they're kind of neat because they're distinctly different. They have a little bit more history maybe than the average exonumia, meaning not a government-issued coin. It's not currency. It's kind of a metal or metal type coin. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and I hope you learned a little bit something about a different type of coin collecting. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and get in touch with me on my website, treasuretownYT.com, Facebook, TreasureTown, Instagram, @TreasureTownYT, or Twitter, @TreasureTown_YT, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my future vids.